Is this my lighting?
Never. Damn, this first year with Dump was tough.
Jay, it's been a month.
Welcome to GayTalk 2.0, the ultimate podcast for your dose of dish.
It's her lighting. She's going to have to deal with it for now because my phone is upstairs. Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome back to another episode of GayTalk 2.0, an LGBT podcast. We are streaming live on our YouTube channel for all of our Patreon supporters on the day of recording, as always. My name is Tom, and I'm your host. And as always, I'm in the studio with my amazing co-host, starting with the brightfully delightful first one.
Hey, y'all, Nick or Trish.
And
J-Bear, a.k.a. your boyfriend's boyfriend.
it feels like it has been an eternity, but it has only been not even 2 months. It is fucking crazy.
Fuck, I'm tired. I'm tired already.
It is fucking nuts. But anyway, we are back. Oh God. So there's a lot of fun things that happened this week, but there's a lot of craziness that happened this week. And you know what? I'm here for all the fun stuff. And so we're gonna do a quick roundtable, and then we'll get into all that fun and not so fun stuff. But here we are. So Jaybird, over to you. How are you, darling?
Tired.
Tired.
Just tired. I think
What's going on?
with the current state of things, I'm tired mentally. I'm tired physically. If you guys want to finish the podcast, I'm gonna crawl under the table and take a nap. You might hear some snoring and farting while you're recording, but it's just a lot. It's just
I
a
know.
lot.
It is. It's what I call the state of exasperation.
Yeah.
Is that the word? Did I say it right?
Yeah, that is a word.
It's just, this is what we're going to have to deal with. And it feels like it's been a year, but it's only been a month. And we still have, what, three years and
Don't remember.
10 and a half months left of this shit.
Yeah.
If there, who knows? We might have longer.
I wonder if there's enough posts out there of this guy playing with his little chickens that we can watch to make the time pass.
I think there will be. She's glowing
Oh,
already.
no, she's
Sorry.
here now.
Sorry, I literally, I just got off a phone call and I came right into this, so my brain is in like 300 different places, and then I just got
Gotcha.
really good news, text, and yeah.
Tell me about it.
Congrats,
It's nuts.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like my day went as well. So obviously I started my day working from home today. And then I realized halfway through, like, oh shit, I have to go into the office today because because of the nature of my work and because of how long I've been at my job, I'm slowly coming to the realization that I am one of the few people that knows the work that I do and that understand the complexity of my job. And therefore, I have to facilitate training for other individuals that are coming into my department. And because I take pride in the work that I do. You know, whether I enjoy my job or not, I still take pride in the work that I do, and I want to make sure that if we're doing the work, it's getting done correctly. And so, you know, I jump at an opportunity to teach others my knowledge, what I know, how I do things, why I do things the way that I do, and also, you know, I'm very knowledgeable of the policies and procedures that we have in place, and obviously, because of the type of business that we are. In a regulated market, I'm very familiar also with some of the regulations that we must abide by, and so I've taken up the mantle of being trainer for what I do in not only for my group but even other groups.
Martha on the mantle.
I'm telling you. And so one of my friends,
Jay Snoop on the stoop.
Jay Snoop.
so one of my coworkers sent me a video, and I swear to God, it is hilarious. It is one person who has a plethora of wigs, okay, and basically the heading of the video says the one person at work that's trained to do everything, and every time he flips around he's got a new wig on and he's like HR or IT or so all of these different roles and hats that people play in the workforce. And I laughed so hard. I was in the office when I got it. So
that's literally you.
in every facet of when I walk into that building, I swear, like it's like that is going to be an unproductive day.
Yeah.
Because
then the training department hunt you down the other day.
They did. So I walked into the office. I'm having my own training session with one of my my peers. And we're going through some of the material, and another trainer for another area literally walks into my training huddle room, because I'm literally I'm in a room, and literally looks at me. She goes like, "I just have a couple of questions. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt, but can you answer? Give me a very high level." And I'm looking at her. I'm like, "What are you discussing?" And she goes, "Oh, we're discussing this." And I'm like, "Well, it so happens I'm actually teaching her the very exact same thing from our perspective. So why don't I just walk into your group, into your class, and just give a very high level,
a quick synopsis
of what we do and why we do the things that we do."
Pause. This will be reflected on my
review.
No, this will be reflected on what my time card.
Of course. So,
trust.
So, so I walk into this room, and there's about 12 or 14 trainees that came into the company, along with all the trainers that are there, along with other peer members that are helping and assisting with training, and the supervisor of the training department. So I walk into the room and I immediately look at the supervisor for the training department. I'm like, "I am charging this to your group. Just letting you know."
I'm billing you for
How
this.
did I know we were going to hear that?
And so I walk in, and and the first thing I said, I introduced myself. My name's Tom Ortiz, and I work for such and such group. This is what I specialize in. If you guys have any questions, ask. And they started asking questions, and I tell you, Nick, when I started talking and when I started breaking things down, you could hear a fucking pin drop in that room.
Yeah.
It was insane. They were so attentive and so like into the whole thing.
I would have been like, this seems complicated.
Well, it was supposed to be a short synopsis. How long did it last?
I was in the room for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 2.5
That was a
right in your
short
back pocket.
synopsis. Yeah.
So, and for me, I take pride in knowing that if I'm providing somebody information, that they're going to make use of it. And, they would ask questions, and I wouldn't just sort of kind of like tell them what my experience is. I'm drawing it out on a board, like, this is this, and this is what happens if you do this. It was so first and foremost, I was offered the technical training position at work.
Yeah, I know.
I would have been doing that. And I said no, because I know
Several dozen times, by the way.
I have trainers that like literally walk by when I'm in the office. They walk by me and be like, "I just want to punch you in the face."
Oh yeah.
For not taking the job.
She's the lead trainer.
I'm
I
sure
love
there
her.
are other people that are walking by you and say that, and that's not why.
Yeah.
No, but so that has been my week, and so now I find myself going back into the office and facilities. Excuse me, I can't even talk right now. Facilitating training, and it's very fulfilling for me. But I know that if I were to step into that role, many things would change for me, including our ability to do the podcast. Because when you move away from something structured to management, right? You're working 24/7.
Yeah,
you're at the mercy of your boss and the needs, and
you may need to go to Massachusetts tomorrow, or Maine,
or New York, or Maine, and it's
or Santo Domingo, or Mexico. Or
I have dogs. I have children. I
Jay
can't
will
do that.
stay.
Yeah, but it's been quite the ride, to say the least. This August will be 20 years. Wow. 20 years doing what I've been doing, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough about me. Darling, my darling, dearest, brightful, beautiful, looking fabulous Nick, how are you?
This, by the way, this lighting is doing you wonders.
Yeah, it is. It's fat.
We don't need to dim it anymore.
I mean,
You
I
look
have
amazing.
access.
Yeah, have access.
Well, unlock your phone. I'll do it for you.
No, it's fine. Whatever.
You look
Whatever.
good.
She's over it.
She's over it. She's
Yeah.
turned a new page.
A new pound.
A new pound.
A new pound.
Hey.
Hey, so I mean, I guess I can finally like share that you're on Ozempic and I am not on Ozempic. I went to Row, which is an app.
Yep.
And you have to you consult with a doctor, and I started doing kind of like the off-brand of Wegovy. So it's like the non-diabetic version.
Right.
I started at 230. This morning I was 201. So I do feel more confident. I feel like
You look amazing.
I've been posting more and
You look amazing.
like, I'm like, okay, I'll take a photo.
I'll take a
it.
photo.
Yeah.
Let's
Like,
go.
I used to be like, no, Anthony, you take the photo. And then I'll just like stand off to the side or I'll take the photo. But so no, that's really good. And honestly, like I would say to anybody who's considering it, I talk to a doctor, but it definitely has increased my confidence and whatnot, because for a while there,
Yeah.
Anyway, that said,
Plus, you stole a couple of my doses.
yeah, that's how I got started.
She's like, oh, but can I try? Sure.
That's not what
Jab.
happened at all. The first time, literally, what happened was I have an extra pen.
I
I
was
want to-
assaulted.
I was literally assaulted in the kitchen, and he stabbed me.
So he walks in and I'm like, lift up your shirt. He goes like, what for? And he lifts up his shirt and I just go jab. He's like, oh my God.
And then I became a crack addict.
I feel so fabulous.
But
It's amazing how it just starts dropping.
yeah, and I mean, like, it is, I will say that, like, your appetite is definitely affected. And your digestion is definitely
Slow
different.
down, yeah.
But those are really the only side effects that I've
Same.
felt.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's weird because I know some people have they experience different side effects. I know I have another coworker that's done it, and she's experienced like nausea more than often.
I've had a few of those.
Yeah, I've had
You've
it once
seen
or twice, but it's been because I've overeaten.
Yeah,
So,
that's exactly what
yeah.
happened.
I know she experiences headaches, which I know can be a side effect, but
Right.
to me, no. I mean, I've been on the medication for quite some time. I was close to 300 when I started, so.
Yeah.
Right.
But I've plateaued, and I'm kind of like,
Girl, you look good.
I was stuck for a while, and then I've dropped like 10 pounds, and now I'm stuck again. And it's weird because sometimes it's like you don't see any progress, and then you check yourself, a month down the road, and you've lost 5 pounds, and you're like, how?
Right. It's like
How?
you blink and it's like,
Yeah,
when I
so-
started, I was 270. I'm 240 now.
Yeah.
And like, I remember I've been watching some of the older shows that we have published on our YouTube channel.
He's trying to fix the filter.
And and then, like I would see myself, like I would put myself on camera, right? And you could see the bulge just like almost hitting this console or mixer. And then I look today, and then the only thing I can see is just a little bit of the saggy boobs, right? So things are starting to go south.
It sounds like she's getting implants.
So you never know.
You never know.
You never know. But I feel good. I feel good.
Yeah.
Other than
It
that, I
helps.
mean, I had a really rough weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
I think that's
all
where we're at.
around. All
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the emotional. Sorry to cut you off,
No,
but I
you're
think
fine.
the whole emotional roller coaster we're dealing with, socially, family wise, fucking politically, has drained the shit out of us mentally.
yeah, I had a family member. So this weekend we got some bad news about one of my siblings' kids that will be born, and I don't feel like I need to share that specifics, but a question was posed to me by a family member. Well, can't they consider termination?
Right.
Which in this case is something that many people would.
Yeah.
And I looked at the individual and I said, well, because of where they live, they cannot.
Right.
And for some reason, and that was just a fact.
It is, right.
It wasn't me poking fun. It wasn't me prodding. It wasn't me talking about the administration. It was just a fucking fact.
Right.
And this individual popped the fuck off on me.
Right.
And was literally like, you need to realize that you lost and that he's here to protect my children, my girls, and take care of the fact that there are transgender individuals that shouldn't be playing for female sport. It just went on and on and on. And my only response before he ended up hanging up on me, because he was fucking livid, like psycho crazy, was, Chris, you know that's not the only thing they're doing.
Right.
That might be the one thing you care about, but
Right.
have you looked at the stock market? Have you looked at prices of groceries?
Right.
Have you looked at
Veteran affairs.
Veteran
Have
affairs,
you looked at, you know,
Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare? Like, have you looked at any of this shit? Have you looked at the fact that if a Democrat was in office and Elon Musk was doing what he's doing,
oh, it would be, forget it. The world is coming to an end. Have you looked at, you know, the fact that our standing in the world is questionable in today? You know, we had
so badly
in the midst of even the pandemic, we had one of the best economies, or at least the recovering economy.
Yeah.
It was the envy of the world, and
We've gone from a superpower to a super clown.
super clown. I told you the clown car still has room.
Still has room.
There is still room for some of the things that are going to you know, happen and yet to come. But aside from that political stuff, it's the emotional toll that it takes on having to deal with something as simple as that, right? You're having a conversation about factually what someone in a specific demographic in a specific state can't do because of the policies that were passed not only by this administration, but the first time this administration had an opportunity to do that, right? And so, you know,
by embedding a rhetoric in the society and allowing that rhetoric to be okay.
But
Right.
what was he expecting to be your response?
I honestly, I don't know. I mean, he did. I haven't talked to him since, but he replied to me.
No.
And,
But
and like, I understand there's a lot going on in his life right now, and he's really stressed out. But
there's
like,
a lot going on in all of our lives.
right? I mean, but that doesn't give you the right to pop off like that. And another funny thing that was said to me was, you know, you need to get over it. I didn't bitch about Biden the entire administration. I'm like,
You
yes,
did.
you did.
You did.
You did.
Yes, you did. And I'm like, what are you fucking talking
See,
about?
But here's the thing.
And
We're talking about real lives. It's not about Biden and it's not about Trump. It's about the things that are happening under these different administrations that either go and support people no matter what walk of life you're in, or it hurts people in specific demographics. And right now, I mean, you know, the State of the Kingdom was last night. I don't know if you had a chance to view that, right? And
No.
so King Trump went out there and spent a very significant time of his State of the Kingdom to point out all of the lies that he's spewing on not only transgender individuals, but our communities. There are states right now that are so emboldened that they're going as far as trying to introduce bills at the state level to overturn Obergefell versus Hodge, so that we could eliminate marriage equality at the state level for those states that obviously haven't, you know, ratified the marriage equality into their constitutions, in hopes that it would get to the Supreme Court and give them an opportunity to say or do what we already know they're going to do.
As of this weekend, I know there were not nine states that have put forth legislation or a call for the Supreme Court to overturn gay marriage, right?
So. And so all it takes is one of those cases to work its way through the court system, right? Obviously, you have to go to a state court, then the state Supreme Court, then you have to go to a district appellate court, and then from there it goes to one of the circuit courts to have it tried. And then if they can't resolve, or the matter is still being litigated or contested, then it is referred to the Supreme Court. And if they take up a case from any one of these states, I can tell you marriage equality as it stands
is really on the chopping block.
It's really on the chopping block. And the only thing that saves those who are currently married or being married in states that already have, enshrined marriage equality into their constitutions, state like Massachusetts, Connecticut, a couple of others, there's California.
And what's really scary too is you have somebody like Elon Musk calling for impeachment of judges.
Right. Yeah. For going against, I think he said something along the lines of, if a judge can sit there and you arbitrarily undo something that the president puts into place, then that is not democracy. And so I think someone brilliantly replied, "Oh my God, look. Elon Musk has discovered our U.S. Constitution. We are a three-party, we are a three-system government, entity, and we have three different levels of government
for a reason,
right? So for separations of power, we have the legislative, we have the judiciary, and we have the executive.
In all fairness, he is an immigrant. I guess he's still learning the laws.
Well,
Yeah, he never got to see Schoolhouse Rock. Like, come on.
So yesterday for me was my refuge as of late has been HGTV. Anytime I know that there's something happening.
Is it bad that mine's Dexter?
It's okay. Let it be morbid. Let it be happy. Let it be fucking spend a fortune remodeling a house. Anything but having to deal with seeing turd face on a TV screen spewing lies. Right. That is my MO right now. And I know that, when we talked I would say 6 episodes ago during New Year's, I said one of my New Year's resolutions was to face that and get in front of that and really listen to what they're saying, right? Because don't pay attention to what they say, pay attention to what they do. And, I had read, I'm starting to read more, but I'm finding it very hard to watch mainstream media.
Oh, I think it's hard. The hardest thing for me is watching it. Yes, it pisses me off, like beyond belief. But what it really indirectly is doing to me is pushing me further and further and further away from people that I love, my family. It's making me so angry,
right,
that they can still justify or stand behind what is actually happening. And like I'm barely speaking to my family at this point, but I think my mom's sad. I mean, like, my mom didn't vote for him. My mom thinks he's a fucking asshole. And I try to talk to her every once in a while. She's been texting me more because I'm not responding in the group chat and all this stuff. I left the group chat. They added me back in to be vindictive.
How fucking petty? How fucking? What did you call me? Pequeña Bettina?
Sí.
Fucking petty Betties. Like. For real, if I leave, don't add me back in so that you can rub this shit into my face.
They're not really talking about politics on it, but I don't want to say it. It just pisses me. It pisses me off because I want to be supportive and reply to these cute little photos and all this shit, but at the same time, I'm like, you're a fucking dick,
right? And it's hard. It is hard dealing with family.
The problem is that sometimes when you're your true self. And the family isn't comfortable with it, you're the problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what you got to take into account. And then I feel the same way. I have part of my family that are dumpsters, And
I am very fortunate.
Oddly enough, or not oddly enough, are the ones that live in Kansas. Gee, who would have guessed, right?
I am very fortunate that my mother. Oh my God, I would be destroyed right now if my mother would ever say to me, "I'm a diehard Trumper." My brothers, the same. We all align, not necessarily politically, but from being a decent fucking human being
from a social
perspective,
perspective,
right? We align. But I have warned my family members, even my extended family members, cousins, second cousins, third cousins, you come at me with this shit that, you know, I'm overreacting, I will cut you off because I have no problem doing that. You don't pay my fucking rent.
We've seen it happen.
You don't pay my. I have a cousin of mine
we've
who
seen
literally called my mother and said, "Your son unfriended me on Facebook, and he refuses to add me back on. He won't answer my text." I blocked her. Like, I literally deleted her phone number, blocked it, the whole 9 yards. A cousin of mine, and she calls my mother and starts asking why I did that, and my mother replied and said, "What did you do? I know what my son is capable of, but what did you do to him for him to do that? You must have pissed him off. So I'm not going to go and ask him anything. You need to sit on whatever situation, whatever shit you pushed out and you dropped on the floor, go sit on it, simmer on it, and then reflect on it and find out what you did before I go to my son and ask him what's going on." And she was telling me this, and I was like, "Mama, I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you," because she knows me. But the reason why I wrote this cousin off, it was because she's a Trumpster, right? And she kept posting shit, not on her wall. She would send me private messages with pictures.
No.
And I literally, all I wrote to her was, "You need to stop sending me this personally to me. You're offending me, and I will write you off. I have no problem doing that. You are not significant to me. I don't care if you're family. I am that. I am that person. I am resolved in my decisions. I always have been. And for me, it doesn't, I don't lose sleep over it. But apparently it bothered her enough to call my mother. And my mother just put her in her place. Like, you need to sit on whatever it is that you did. Because I know my son.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's how we have to start treating family. You know, if I am a significant person in your life, you need to look at me as a human and support every aspect, every facet of my humanity. And if you can't do that, you don't need to be in my life.
Well,
and it's hard. And I don't care if it's a mother or a father or a sister or a cousin or what used to be a friend or coworkers. You know, I don't have to be your best friend at work. I will walk up in there with my
people
petty
get
ass
divorced over this shit
and say good morning and sit my ass down and say nothing else to you. But that's how you need to be, because you know what? Your mental sanity, Trish, when I tell you this, is most important overall.
Yeah. But I mean, the hardest thing, that's a cousin, right?
Yeah, it is. Oh, I would have no problem writing off a brother.
See, I don't feel that way, but
my sister, my oldest sister, she's the oldest, was posting and sending me, you know, Trump shit all the time. And I would find the gayest, most colorful videos that I could find, and I would send them right back to her. And she was like, you know, that
you got one today.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
That I won't share. That's for me. No. But you know, and I think after a couple of times that she did that shit to me, and I would reply, and it would be in opposition to the shit that she was posting. She kind of got it and stopped sending me stuff.
Right.
And I was like, I could care less. And she's actually one of the very few siblings that will call me, and I let her go into voicemail.
Yeah, no,
I just don't. I mean,
I don't think they see what's actually going on.
No.
Whether they see that or not, you know, they see that you're hurting, and they're willing to disregard that.
Yeah.
To prove a point. To stick it in, right? And that in itself is petty, and it's wrong, and it's damaging. Look at the state of your emotions right now.
Yeah.
You may not be showing them, but it's affecting you. And they're doing that. They're okay with that.
Okay, yeah. Anyway. Moving on. Right along.
Okay, Dr. Ruth.
I'm just saying, you
no,
know,
it's true.
It's the truth.
We have to sometimes, you know, and sometimes you have to rely on your extended family for certain support. And you know, it is what it is. You do it with us. I do it with us. You know, there's certain things that I think our families, our immediate families, just won't understand.
Right.
I literally, I'm interested to see. I severely like praise God that this doesn't happen. But if gay marriage is overturned, I don't like that'll be it.
Yeah, it's
Like
tough.
I'll be done.
It's tough.
But the reaction
Yeah.
Right.
will be interesting to see, and I can see a lot of it being, well, that wasn't his decision.
Yes, it was.
Obviously, I mean,
Yes, it was.
I think people don't realize if that does happen, yes, it comes from the Supreme Court, but everything leading up to that moment was literally threaded into the conversation and the rhetoric and the hate fucking speech this man has brought to this country.
Yeah. Project 2025 is literally unfolding before us, and which was something, that he said that he had nothing to do with. And I'm scared for my community. You know?
But that's his fucking I mean, come on, that's been his Not me. Not me. He's the fucker that throws the rocks and hides the hand.
Right. And
I didn't say that. I never said I was part of that. This 2025.
When I had all those people over to Mar-a-Lago and we talked about it, the creators.
I thought you were talking about the year that I was going to become president, not the manifesto that was being written on my behalf. I had nothing to do with that.
We just went golfing.
Yeah, no. Let me tell you. So obviously he had the State of the Kingdom last night, and y'all remember when? So, Rep. Al Green.
Yep.
Yesterday in protest started heckling the hashtag not my president, the turd, while he was speaking, and Republicans felt some kind of way, and they instructed the sergeant at arms to remove Congressman Al Green. And honestly, I think that every freaking Democrat should have just got up and walked the fuck out, but they didn't. And he had the balls to do and stand up for what he did. And fucking Republicans lost their shit. But they don't remember that last year, it was only last year during Biden's last, joint sessions of State of the Union, because that one was a State of the Union, not State of the Kingdom. Marjorie Taylor Greene fucking wore memorabilia on the House floor that she is forbidden to wear, including a hat that said Trump 2024 or 20 whatever. And she heckled the president and got to remain seated. Like, she was able to remain seated in the chamber.
Well, you've been seeing people being dragged out in town halls. Now
it's insane.
Yeah.
And, he's
that happens. That doesn't happen in democracy.
No, it doesn't. But here we are.
It only happens and the Marxism and the Nazism.
Yeah. If that were to happen and somebody was like threatening violence, physical force, I get it. But sharing your opinion and even heckling,
right,
that is your fucking right.
Right.
To share your opinion.
It's peaceful protest. You're not beating on anybody. You're just simply stating.
And that fucking football player that got arrested for peaceful protesting.
Yeah, it's insane. We are living in a crazy time, and we thought back in 2020 when President Biden was elected that we had put this madness behind us. We thought that all the pending federal cases and the state cases would result in the incarceration of this felon who is now
Cirolini.
Yeah. It's scary, but here we are. America, put us back here. The fiasco that was that meeting with Zelensky in the Oval Office.
That wasn't a meeting. That was a bully session.
That was just... And you know what?
But the reaction from the world.
I'm loving every moment of how these European leaders are rallying behind this man.
And it's sad that as an American, I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I am absolutely rooting for, the European Union right now, standing behind Zelensky. I praise that man for his bravery to come into that situation, knowing that first and foremost, What the president did in the White House during that, the hashtag not mine, during that meeting is the same exact shit that he got impeached for. Do you remember the first impeachment? He got impeached because he tried to coerce Zelensky in saying that Biden did something wrong. That was his first impeachment.
Yeah.
He was impeached because he was caught on the phone asking Zelensky for a quid pro quo.
Well,
And he was doing it in the Oval Office this time around in front of the cameras.
yeah.
I'm
sure meetings like that happen. I mean, not to that extent. Like, some of the shit that was said was stupid, but he brought cameras for a reason.
Of course, he wanted it to be a show of power, and then the other fucking idiot, or what do you call him? Is the VP? Is that what he is?
Oh yeah. Vance,
The drag queen, yeah, Vance. Thank you. She's yelling from the other side. You're being disrespectful. You have to apologize. I was like, he wasn't being disrespectful. You were cornering this man.
Yeah, you know what? What kind of
I was
the balls to be like, you're not even wearing a suit. Why can't you wear a?
no wartime president.
Ever wears a fucking suit?
You don't.
What the fuck
Your
is wrong with
country
these
is
people?
being attacked by a foreign power.
Yeah.
And you're expecting me to wear a suit? No, motherfucker. I'm going to come here and tell you my people are dying. I need your help.
Yeah.
I don't care if I wear a fucking suit.
But
that
then
was
you
disgraceful.
have but then you have, First Lady fucking Elon with baseball caps in the fucking Oval Office.
Thank you.
And T-shirts.
Did you know that Canada imposed a 100% tariff?
Yeah.
I don't know if this is true, but I read this somewhere
Yeah, that they were,
on Tesla.
on Tesla.
Oh,
Tesla
yeah.
cars?
No, I heard that.
And to boot, today they were showing videos. In Canada, all American imported liquor being pulled off their shelves.
Oh, yeah. That's been happening for a while now.
Yeah. It's insane.
And
It
I'm
sucks.
okay.
It sucks
I'm okay
because
with all of this.
it sucks because it's hurting people's employment here.
We're fine.
And if there's no sale, there's no sale.
The
It's
stock market crashed.
Yeah.
1,000 points in 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only thing going down. Maybe eggs and gas will go down next week.
I hope
don't
so.
know.
But
I say every morning, when I make an egg, I'm like, bougie.
Bou-
It's a bougie morning breakfast.
Dude, 2 eggs in the cafeteria at work, almost $7
I bought a sandwich. It was like $15. I was like, it's a fucking chicken salad on a wrap with lettuce and tomatoes.
I love chicken
Dude.
salad.
I do.
I was gonna go to the back of the kitchen, look for the fucking chicken laying golden eggs.
Yeah, no, it's been insane.
It's insane.
So I want to share.
Do share.
Story.
Do share.
So I want to move the conversation toward immigration, right? A little bit.
Let's do that.
Let's go.
So I want to talk about immigration reform and how a lot of administrations always talk about it. They put things in place. Some things don't work. Some things do work, but we haven't figured it out yet as a country.
Right.
We really haven't figured it out. And I think it's something that we really need to invest in.
And it's so hard to even conceptualize that. Like, we're a country of immigrants and we can't even figure out immigration.
Yeah. I think what's interesting to me is this administration does not want reform.
No.
They want to literally persecute and push people out and close our borders. However, I look at organizations like IRIS, which is Integrated Refugee and Immigrant Services. Here in New Haven, it's a nonprofit organization whose mission is to help refugees and other displaced people establish new lives, strengthen hope, dare to dream, and contribute to the vitality of communities in Connecticut and across the country. They also provide support to Americans who are sponsoring refugees for resettlement, which happens, and welcoming people who are fleeing persecution and conflict, including LGBTQ individuals. We are honoring our nation's heritage as a country of immigrants, as well as our commitments under the U.S. and international law. IRIS helps newcomers and services and support critical to their transition and self-sufficiency, and to make local communities across the U.S. their home and stronger, right? So I think about this organization, and I think, while they are completely federal funded, we just got news today that they will be closing their doors April 20th.
That's crazy.
They've been open for 40 years, proving that immigration can happen in the right way.
Right.
We can support immigrants, not only immigrants that just need help that have immigrated here, but refugees as well. We can help find them housing. We can help provide them with basic needs for a period of time until they get on their feet. These people find jobs. They support the economy. And there's another organization here in New Haven that it's basically like I can't remember the name of it, but the woman that started the organization was an immigrant that went through the program of Irish. She started this organization, and basically they have a storefront. They produce a lot of pastries and stuff like that, but they also help feed the immigrant population and help build community. So we have to remember that all of these people that are coming to our country, they're coming to our country. They don't understand our language in some cases. Right. They don't understand our culture. They don't have the network. And so Iris helps with that. Right. They place people with their culture, and those people can help explain how to live within the New Haven ecosystem. So my thing is, we are closing a 40-year organization that was seriously federally funded. This organization, if taken seriously, invested in, and worked with, could actually help with immigration reform. They could help develop policies that can make changes. They could really make a difference. But instead, what we're doing is we're just cutting their fucking funding. Right. We're just cutting their funding. We're not learning from anything. I mean, in 2024 alone, they had over 2,000 clients from 25 different countries. They supported 162 new jobs in the greater New Haven region, which also pay taxes, helped 458 students enroll in school, and helped 523 families with basic needs until they got on their feet. Not to mention what they did placing people in homes and in communities across New Haven. And yes, I just ranted a lot, right? But I just find it so interesting that this fucking dumpster of a dump fuck doesn't take a moment to realize there are organizations all over this country doing the amazing work that the government's trying to figure out how to do it.
Right.
So invest in those organizations and do it right.
Right, but he doesn't want to. You know why?
I know, because but it just makes me insane.
It doesn't put a fat wad of money back in his pocket.
It's all race-driven. Yeah. They don't want the Mexicans here. Clearly, they don't even want the Gulf of Mexico to be named the Gulf of Mexico. They don't want Latinos here.
We took half the country and...
But here's the thing. They're afraid that, believe it or not, the white demographic in the U.S. is quickly becoming one of the fastest decreasing demographic in the U.S. Yeah. Latinos are really like coming up, and Black and Latino people are really growing in this nation, and they're afraid of that. They're afraid. They're afraid of their fragile.
That's why they made English the national language, or whatever they did, whatever the fuck that was.
Which really, like, everybody knows you come to America and the majority of people speak English. Was that even necessary? What? Just because you make English the official language, do you think companies are still not going to offer Spanish-speaking employees or have bilingual services for people? They will.
Some.
They will. And the thing is, so interestingly enough that you mentioned, there was a lot of funding that was already allocated in the previous administration before this one started that was already appropriated by Congress, by law, by signed law, right?
They don't give a fuck about that.
Nope.
And he decided that he was going to freeze that. Okay. It went to court. The court ordered him to assign those funds, to issue those funds to the organizations and the commitments that America made to whatever organization it was. He then decided, oh no, I'm not cool with that. I'm going to send it to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court today ruled in a 5-4 decision against him and said that those appropriated funds by law, by Congress, must be allocated to the organizations and the groups that they were allocated to.
Yeah, Iris announced today. they're
And
closing
that's
the doors.
sad. And, then you have to think about, can an organization like that function with private funds, right?
So here is my thing on that. So the problem with the situation that we're facing today when it comes to nonprofits that are doing this type of work, all nonprofits really. So we're all fighting for the same dollars, right? We're all applying to not the same things, right? We're applying to different grants and different things, whether it's federal, whether it's state, whether it's municipal, whether it's private. Now, we also have, the individual sector where people are funding organizations individually, helping them survive.
Right.
The problem with the situation that we face now is the reality that when an organization loses over $40 million of federal funding, there is no state there potentially is an individual somewhere, right? But there is really rare circumstances where you're going to find that $40 million that help your operating budget annually, right? So if all of a sudden all of these funders had to shift to support this one nonprofit, which I don't disagree should happen in certain circumstances,
Right.
all the other nonprofits are going to suffer.
Of course. Everybody's literally just, it's like,
What do they say? Robbing Peter to pay Paul?
Yeah. So it's like a lot of funders right now have to be super intentional about the way they're wording shit and who they're funding, and who they're saving.
Yeah.
Because if you save one, then you're going to have to save the next one. Right.
And the next one and the next one.
And I've also noticed in corporations that are still implementing their DEI policies, they're changing their wording.
Oh, yeah.
So that when you do speak about an event, you don't use specific words because that's a no-no now.
Mm-hmm.
And based on the current state of government, you have to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's like, you're in support of, but, don't say this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't say that.
Don't say that.
There's this, this whole article that came out about so now there are a lot of federal applications that you can apply for funding, but because they're federal, it's federal dollars.
Right.
And so there have been a few articles and a few people that have come out and kind of explained how to navigate this, right? It's not removing the program. It's selling the program with different language.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
Being creative, right?
being creative, but
Being creative with the words that you choose to describe the program that you're looking for funds for, so that it doesn't sound like
organization. Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's like at the end of the day, it's like
in the
lying on these applications is illegal.
So-
It's like we have no choice.
No, in the famous words of Kellyanne Conway, we are choosing to describe it with alternate facts.
Absolutely.
It's valid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it works for the current administration.
Oh, let me tell you, it's going to be a shit show. But listen,
Yeah, 1 year in. 1 month in. So
it's a month.
shit.
We have defied many things. We have overcome many hardships in this country, in our history, and I think if we remain steadfast in our decision to speak loudly when we must, and hold steadfast in our principles and what we believe we should stand for as a country, I think we'll make it. We're gonna go through it. We can defy gravity, in a sense. So, 48 minutes in, we didn't take a break today. We don't plan to take a break today. But before we close today's show, one question for the group: did you see the Oscars?
No.
No, but I saw a few snippets and I like.
And you like.
I
Okay.
like.
So this happened. This happened at the Oscars. It was the opening moment of the
Yes.
Oscars. So first of all,
Saw that.
Cynthia, I have a bone to pick with you, girl. This happened. Listen.
Unlimited.
That's all you get because I don't want to be flagged. But that happened at the Oscars. So first and foremost, the press tour for fucking Wicked was insane.
Yeah.
It was insane. It was creepy in some instances, some finger grabbing, some yeah, there you go.
There
Please
you
grab my
go.
finger,
Grab the
pull it.
finger.
You want to grab my finger?
I don't know.
It
you
was
might-
weird. There was a lot of crying, a lot of sister, and I'm all here for it. I'm all here for their feelings. I'm all for it. But Cynthia has been asked on numerous occasions, will there be a performance at the Oscars of you and Ariana doing, a performance from the music from Wicked? And through, she kept saying no. And then the Oscars started, and she came out. So basically, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande both came out. They opened the show for the 97th Academy Awards on Sunday with a stunning medley of not just the music that they actually sang in the movie, but they also incorporated other amazing, well-known pieces from different parts of the Wizard of Oz world. For example, Grande, who was up for Best Supporting Actress and didn't win, she kicked off this little musical extravaganza with a beautiful rendition of Judy Garland's "Somewhere Over the Rainbow." Right, and immediately upon her completion, which, by the way, the stage set was amazing. Clouds and a rainbow, and she was just beautiful in a red gown. She had
a rainbow.
She had a fucking slipper on the back of her dress. On the back, it was.
Please tell me, she had a change of clothes, because that's a bit much. But I did love the gesture.
Oh, you should have seen her outfit on the red carpet. It was like Glinda, in 2055. In the future. It was beautiful.
The white dress with the
little fringes coming down. It was beautiful. It's gorgeous. And so then,
kind of like an eggshell white.
Yeah, it was
It's
beautiful.
a pretty dress.
And so after her, out comes Cynthia Erivo, who was obviously nominated for Best Actress for her leading role as Elphaba, and took over the performance, performing Home from 1978's The Wiz. And it was amazing. And then immediately after, the two performers closed with obviously Wicked's most iconic song, Defying Gravity, as a means to close the show, which happens to also be the song that they chose to close the movie with, right? The first part of Wicked Part 1.
I mean, that's the end of Act 1. So.
And it was everything. It was life. And
I'm gonna have to watch it.
You
I
have
have two videos to watch when I get home.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, watch Wicked first before, because you might be a little too tired. But if you get a chance to go online and watch this beautiful, amazing open, I think it has to be one of the best opening numbers that the Oscars have ever had in history. The stand ovation from that room.
Neil Patrick Harris, man.
He's good, but these two girls, man. Cynthia.
I'll give you my opinion after I watch.
Okay. But it happened. It happened. Jaybird, do you have anything else?
No, few of the jokes, zingers were really good.
Okay.
Conan O'Brien did. You got your political puns in there, which was good.
Oh yeah, he was good. He was good. He was good in most of the things, but
My favorite part.
in typical fashion, he can also be very awkward at moments. But
When they were going to break, he goes, "Oh, this is we're come to the halftime? We're going to our break in the first half of the show, so it's time for Drake to come out and call Drake a pedophile."
Oh my God.
And he's like, "That's okay. I'm lawyered up." Yo, I was dying.
He's so
funny.
I tell you, I love the late night lineup. You have Jimmy Fallon, and you have all the other people that are doing the late night scene now.
Yeah.
But I miss my originals, man. I fucking miss David Letterman.
The old guys.
I miss Jay Leno. Yeah, he had his moments. And obviously, this man that hosted the Oscars this year,
Conan O'Brien.
was
He's funny.
I miss
was really
carpool
good.
karaoke.
And
Oh my god!
what was kind of cool, and I didn't watch the whole thing too.
Right.
Kieran Culkin
Yes.
winning. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and so I think he won Best Actor.
Best actor, yeah.
Yeah, and I was expecting that Cynthia would have gotten at least one award. Come on, people, she could have been an EGOT, but she didn't.
She will eventually.
Yeah, there's always part two. We still have the other amazing song that everybody's waiting for.
Yep.
So, what is it?
I don't know which one for good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard it say. No, yeah, we're not going to do that. But anyway, all right. Jay Bird. No. Trish.
No.
It's you. Are you
Moving
ready?
on.
Yeah.
Give her her thing.
All right, everybody. Here's Mama Kim's Minute. Number 1, Republicans back anti-marriage equality resolution in rare showing of LGBTQ plus solidarity. Number 2, 2 brave migrants risk their safety to stop a gay bashing. Then something wonderful happened. Number 3, the Aunties elevates the life-changing role of intergenerational Black queer friendship.
Yas Queen. That's Mama Kim's Minute. Jay Bird, is it you?
Yeah, moving on.
Okay.
On this day in gay history, the year was 2004, March 5th. Where? Madison, Wisconsin. Cheese people, right? Aren't they known for the cheese?
Yeah, they
They
make
are.
cheese.
Yeah, the Wisconsin
Cheddar.
State Assembly approved of an amendment to the state constitution 68-27 that would ban both same-sex marriage and civil unions.
Fuck
That was
her!
That was in 2004.
Wow.
Imagine that. That was exactly 21 years ago.
21.
Time flies.
Guess who's moving to Madison?
Oh boy.
Wait. Never mind. Trish, over to you.
No.
Oh, it's still Jay?
Oh, she's
Jay Bird.
lost. She's lost in the sauce.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to our announcements. If you like the show, please make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcasting service. By subscribing, you get the latest and greatest of our show delivered right to your favorite By subscribing, you get the latest and greatest of our show delivered right to your favorite device or web browser as soon as the episode is published. You can also support us on Patreon. With Patreon, you, our listeners, can help to support the show with a pledged donation. And the donations are collected monthly and can be in any denomination of $1 or more.
All right, everybody. I am going to work on getting a guest. I swear to God, we're going to have one soon. How did you even know where that button was?
I found it.
All right, everybody. Get the Future Method and all other products today. All products are doctor developed, can clean out without hurting your bum. You can take confidence anywhere with the anal powder packs. Increase your stretch goals with the 3-piece anal glass dilation kit, and get all the information you need with Dr. G's book, But Seriously. Visit futuremethod.com to purchase your life-changing bum accessory today.
Jay Bird.
Alrighty. And I think for our closing plug today will be put an Adderall on it, because fuck, we need it.
Oh, well, Republicans need something.
So our show is available on our website, GayTalk20.com, under audio podcast. It is also available as a free download on Apple Podcast, YouTube Music, and Stitcher Radio. Trish?
All right, you can find us on social media, Facebook, GayTalk 2.0, Instagram, GayTalk 2.0. You can email us at gaytalk2.0@gaytalk20.com. Tom?
I'll take it from here, I think.
Don't fuck it up.
Damn it.
Which one is that one?
I think we really fucked up.
I thought that was the wah.
No. I moved it away. All right. Well, ladies and gents, I want to thank you all for joining us on tonight's episode. If you need to contact us, just head on over to our website. Click on the Contact Us tab, which is located at the top of your web browser. There you can leave comments. You can suggest topics. You can submit a question for the cast or any of these two bitches. You can also call us and leave us any voice messages you may have on our voicemail. The phone number is 334-GAY-TALK. And if you need all of the digits, it is 334-429-8255. Don't forget that we do stream live every Wednesday on our YouTube channel for our Patreon supporters. Everyone else can see the video the week after. And with that, that is our show. Ladies and gents, thank you and have a good night. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of GayTalk 2.0. Tune in next time for more dish.